Hi everyone, it's May, and today I'm going to be giving you my top tips for freshmen in college. So first I'm going to talk about what to bring. And the first thing is shower shoes, because dorm showers are disgusting. Like, let's be real, and you don't want your bare feet to be touching all of that gross stuff. Number two is earplugs. That may seem weird, like you probably haven't used earplugs before if you've lived at home your whole life, but the dorms are very noisy and I swear by them. Like, it is so necessary to use earplugs for me to get a good night's sleep, because there's always going to be something going on, like people on the floor above you, like jumping around, pounding on the floor is what it sounds like, or your neighbors playing music loud, late or something. So I just think that's a really good thing to have. If you are bringing a bike to school, I would highly recommend bringing U-locks. If you just have the wire locks, those can be cut through, and bike theft is definitely a real thing on college campuses, so I would recommend having 2 U-locks be very secure to put on your bike, connecting the wheel to the frame of the bike and then connecting through the front wheel, the frame of the bike, and the bike lock. I think that would just be best, because a lot of people's bikes get stolen, or parts of them get stolen, and you really want to avoid that. And then the last thing that I have to bring is airborne or emergency, just like the chewable tablets or the powder to put in water, because in high density living, like the dorms, it's very easy to get sick. There's a lot of people, a lot of germs, so I think that just really helps. Now I'm going to be talking about social tips. So first is try to meet up with your roommate before you move in, or at least be communicating with them through text, because that just makes it a lot less stressful when you move in. Like, you already know that person, that's just one less thing you have to worry about. Also, your dorm will probably have a lot of events during the first week, and so I would recommend going to as many of those as possible, whether it's a week where, like we had here at CSULB, where we had week of welcome before classes started, so it was a whole week where we just moved into the dorms and we had that week before classes started. Or if you move in right before classes start, they'll probably have a lot of events that first week of class for you to get to know people and everyone in the dorms. So I would just highly recommend going to as many of those events as possible, because that's when friend groups start to form, is at the beginning of the year, and you want to make sure you meet people. My next tip for being social is to join a club, or sign up just like for a fun class like choir or dance. I do choir here, I really like it. It's just one unit, and I just think it's really important to have like a fun class in your schedule, or a club, or something to look forward to, and that's just another really great way to get to know people with your same interests. And lastly, when you first move in, I would recommend just with your roommate going around and knocking on every door and just introducing yourselves. Or if your roommate doesn't want to do it, maybe do it by yourself. I know that would be scary, but see if your roommate would want to do it. And just introduce yourself to everybody, because then you know everyone in your hall. I think that knowing everyone in your wing or floor just makes a really big difference. Like last year, I didn't know hardly anybody in my wing, and now I know so many people this year, because we just formed so much more of a community during Week of Welcome. And it's just so great being able to like knock on someone's door and be like, hey, are you gonna go to dinner? Let's go together, playing games at night or whatever. It's just great, and I like it so much better. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting to know the people in your wing. So now I'm going to move into some health tips. I know that I don't follow all of these, and they're hard to follow, but these are just things that I've learned in school that I think are helpful. And this is just like physical health and mental health and emotional health and everything. So the first thing is make time for self-care. I know it's hard when you have hard classes, maybe you're working, but just make sure that you make time for yourself, and that could be going to the gym once a week, going to like a yoga class, or watching your favorite movie one night, going for a walk. And on the flip side of what I said about like trying to go to as many events as you can and everything, make sure that you're also like not pushing yourself too much, especially if you're an introvert like I am. Like, I get burnt out when I do that and go to everything and hang out with people constantly, and so I just need to remember to like scale it back and take time for myself sometimes, and don't feel bad if there's like an event going on and you'd rather stay in your room and just chill for the night. Like, it's okay to do that sometimes, and I know that I sometimes forget that, so that's important to remember. Another thing is to call your parents or your family at home. They want to hear from you, and I think it really helps. Like, talking to my mom always makes me feel better if I'm like having a hard time with something. For food, the dining hall is so tempting to eat unhealthy. They have so many great unhealthy foods like pizza and french fries and froyo, and that's why people gain the Freshman 15. Like, I gained weight last year. Like, it happens. It just does. But tips for trying to eat healthy when it's hard in the dining hall are to have fruit and or vegetables as a side dish for your meals. I know my dining hall always has like a salad bar and some sort of fruit, so I always try to include that in my meal. Go for the whole wheat option with bread. That's just an easy way, just a choice if you're having bread to make the healthier choice. And there's like always going to be a soda machine, but try to get water most of the time, even though you have unlimited access to soda. Just make it a treat. Like once a week you can have soda or something. And then also for snacks in your dorm, I would just get healthy snacks like whole grain chips or like fruit, nuts. That's the kind of stuff I have, and I'm going to be doing a fridge and pantry tour if you're looking for ideas on healthy snacks. Because if you have junk in your room, it's going to be so tempting to eat that. I think that having healthy snacks is just a really great way to like keep you from eating bad things because you don't have access to other foods, so that's all you can eat. Lastly, I'm just going to do 2 general tips for right before school starts. So one of them is to find your classes before the first day of class. Take your schedule and either go with your mom or your dad if they're there with you, or find someone who knows where they are and have them take you around, and just have your schedule and go in the order that you have your classes and find them so that it's not so stressful on the first day. And you can always ask people, like if you get lost again. I know people on my campus are really nice and willing to help. And number 2 is if your bookstore has a return policy, get your books before the first week of classes. Because most teachers will post their syllabi online, so you know what books you need, and you can just go and get them before class starts, because that first week of classes at the bookstore is a zoo. There will be lines out the door because everyone's trying to get their books, and you can always return them if they weren't the right ones, or you can always go back and get another one if you needed it, but just do that so you at least have them, and that's just one less thing to worry about during the first week of school. So I hope these tips helped if you're going into college for the first time. Please let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about college or being a freshman or anything like that, because I'd love to help you out. I make videos every Monday about college, health, lifestyle, food related things. So if you would like to see more of that, please subscribe, and you can follow me on my social media down below. Thank you so much for watching.